Hey everyone, this is Balot from the Happy Appas Mama, and today I would like to talk about this week's topic, which is about dilution. Um, I started using essential oils primarily because I wanted to introduce a healthier alternative for my family when it comes to addressing common ailments at home, and so that I could address my husband's snoring. Oh my god, I think this is a very common um, reason why moms start into oiling. And yeah, so I was using these oils. I think I started around August or September in 2017, and I was loving it so much. And I was loving it so much, and I was hoarding all these oils. And what I didn't realize was that there was so much more that I needed to learn. Um, that I needed to learn so that I could safely use this amazing products of nature, and putting it permanently in my health toolbox, or whatever you call it. Um, I'm building this story so that you know where I am coming from in terms of why I really promote about the safe use of essential oils. So I think during that time, Sandy had a ringworm, or some skin um, growth, and then the Yaya applied a certain blend, which was a very strong blend. It was properly diluted, and his skin was actually burnt. Well, it was a very minor burn, but he was a baby, and I was so scared. And I realized that, oh my gosh, I need to really educate myself quite extensively, since these oils could cause harm at some point. Um, but it was nothing serious, so I just let it slide. Charge its experience. My uplines were like, no, just put lavender, or whatever, to address the condition. And I was still using the oils, and several months passed, and my sister was staying here with me. And I have this almost every day in my bag. This roller blend, which was supposedly safely diluted. It is for headaches and pains and aches, and I loved it. I mean, it was very effective for me. And then so she was having her migraine, and I was like, oh come on, I have this blend that is so wonderful. And so I started rolling on her temples and on her nape, and then just after like a minute, she broke out into hives. So there was red all over her neck, and she was at the brink of crying because she was saying that the oils were burning her skin. And because I'm a little bit educated, because I read a lot when I'm into something, so I knew first aid. So I washed her nape, and I asked her to wash her face with warm water and a mild soap, and then slathered carrier oil over the areas where I applied the supposedly safe blend. So that's the second incident. And then the third one was really during my aromatherapy practice, wherein um I have been exposed to oils. I am exposed to oils on a regular basis, almost every other day. And when I was blending this one time, and I was trying to smell the lavender, um, I accidentally touched my lip with a tip of the bottle. So that was neat. And then I after I think several minutes, there were rashes, and my nail was very itchy. I did not eat anything out of the ordinary, and I'm not usually allergic, and this was the first time. And I knew that it was allergies because when I took antihistamines, it went away. So there is, I really realized that there is danger to using essential oils, and like everything else in this planet, there's always two sides of the coin, and we need to really know what we are getting into, especially, most especially, and this is really my true advocacy because it's genuinely coming from a place of concern, especially when we're using essential oils in our kids. Because as mothers, we are employing these wonderful products of nature, thinking that they're all good and all natural and that they can do no harm. And then when suddenly um, you burn your child, or it causes um, congestion rather than easing it, then it becomes a concern, and we blame ourselves. And there's always this mom guilt hovering above our heads. And I think that is where I'm coming from, why I am constantly and consistently talking about safety. Because if you're using oils and you're an adult, your immune system, your body could take um, a certain amount. Like you won't put yourself in danger almost immediately. But if you're a young child, especially for toddlers who can't even express themselves clearly, then it becomes an area of concern because you might be endangering your child without even you knowing it. But today, since it's the most commonly used route of application, I'd like to talk about dilution, and I'd like to share with you the tool that I made so that it would be easy for you to compute the accurate dilution for your families. Um, there are two there are two things that diluting essential oils addresses. Number one, it makes the essential oil, since it's a very very strong um, substance. So the carrier oil, when you dilute it, when you mix it, so your carrier oils are called excipients, and they are vegetable oils usually. So these are your almond oil, your olive oil, grapeseed oil, fractionated or virgin coconut oil. So they are called plant oils, vegetable oils, fatty oils. So there's a lot of terms that many would call it, and they are basically is like they're layering this very strong substance, so that it becomes gentler to your skin, and that you don't get sensitized, or we avoid contact dermatitis, or basically skin irritation. So that's what the carrier oil is used for. And also, not a lot of people would talk about this, but these carrier oils actually have their own health benefits, like jojoba, since it mimics the composition of your skin, so it's very very gentle. Avocado has a very good proper skin healing properties, and so on and so forth. And I think that's another video for another time. Because my first advice usually for topical application is really to go low. So that's especially for kids, we start at 0.5 or 1% dilution. And then if it doesn't work, it's always easy to add more drops into your blend. So it's like cooking, right? Um, if you cook and then you put too much salt in it, then it's super hard to rectify the dish that you're making. But if you start from a place where, okay, so let's start with teaspoon or whatever, and then you try it and then you didn't like the taste, or you feel that it's still lacking, it's not up to your liking, then you can add more. So this is the premise which I usually would tell people, like, just start low. There's no harm in starting low. You conserve your essential oils, and you don't spend um, unnecessarily. And then if it doesn't work, just add one more drop, and then see if it works. And then if it doesn't work, then add another drop. So it's much easier that way, and it's much safer that way. Because as you know, everything that we put inside, apply on our body, everything is processed by our internal system, our digestive system, our liver, our kidney. So anything that it doesn't need, you're actually overloading your system, and it's just something that's unnecessary to begin with. So now I go to the proper dilution when it comes to creating your blends. So okay, um, for there are a lot of different studies as when you should start essential oils, especially on children. As an aroma head graduate, uh, it's more conservative, and the school is really teaching us to limit essential oils, especially on kids, and start at least when they're 5. But me personally, since I have seen how effective it is on my kids, um, I I apply topically, but at a very, very low dilution. For toddlers up to 4 years old, it's usually what I usually do is just really 0.5% to 1% essential oil dilution. So what does this mean? So this means that I only put a 1 to 2 drops of essential oils in 10 ml or 10 ml of carrier oil. So what if you see, for example, a recipe which has 20 drops of essential oil. So when you see recipes like this, please take them with a grain of salt. This usually would be master blends or stock blends, wherein you have to blend them first in a you have to blend them first, and then when you use them on your skin. So, for example, when you see a recipe that calls for um, a very popular blend, four drops of frankincense, 4 drops of lavender, 4 drops of lemon, 4 drops of copaiba, 4 drops of peppermint. This doesn't mean that when you apply it to a child, and I say 2 drops in 10 mils, that it would mean the 2 drops of each of those oils. What you can do is mix them in a dropper bottle, and then so that makes 20 drops of all those blends, like a PFC, FPC blend, specific for immunity, and then just 1 to 2 drops of those blend. So you blend them first in a separate bottle, and then just get 1 to 2 drops, and then mix it with 10 mils of carrier oil. So that's uh, very safe for kids, um, to be at a really low dilution, and then up to a maximum probably of 2%, which is 4 drops in 10 mils. For kids, I usually would say you can go 2 to 3%, so that's 4 to 6 drops of essential oils. So this is like the total number of essential oils in your blend, in your roller bottle. So 4 to 6 drops of essential oil blends in 10 mils. And then for adults, you can go 3 to 5%. You can start at 3. If it doesn't work, you can always add. So 3 to 5% would be 6 to 10 drops of essential oils in 10 ml. For pain blends, I um, learned during my master class with Robert Cisterin that pain blends would usually work at a minimum of 5% dilution, and then you can go high up to 20% dilution. Uh, these are very general guidelines, and this doesn't still discuss about the maximum dermal recommendations, because there are some oils which you can only use up to a maximum of certain number of drops, because if it goes beyond that, they can be skin irritating. And as well as there are some oils, most likely cold pressed citrus oils like lemon and bergamot and lime, which are phototoxic, meaning if you put them in a blend beyond their maximum dermals, they could cause burns, especially if you're under the sun or exposed to UV light. Yes, so I hope that this little video is helpful for you, I actually made an essential oil dilution calculator in my blog at www.callmebalot.com. So I'm gonna put the link of the essential oil dilution calculator over in the comments so that you can check it out. Please like my Facebook page at The Happy Apis Mama, and you can also join my Facebook education group wherein I teach about essential oils and where I usually answer essential oil questions at www.facebook.com/groups/Lana Lane. So over here, so there. Yes, I hope you have a good weekend, everyone, and see you again soon. Bye.